What's going on, everybody? First off, I'd like to say thank you so much. I'm extremely grateful and appreciative to everything that I've gotten over the last decade or even 2 decades for some people who've been there for that long. I feel extremely fortunate. I'm forever grateful. And just to let you know before I give you a backstory of what's going on, I wanted to say that I'm not quitting. I'm not stopping what I'm doing completely by any means. I'm just taking a break to reevaluate and hit it with a different strategy because I've noticed a few things. First of all, I've been stressing myself out doing way too much for way too long. And also, the cycle of social media is so toxic, not just for me as a content creator or whatever you want to call me, but for consumers as well. And I don't think people realize until they step away how toxic and unnecessary it truly is. So let me take it back to the beginning. I started posting internet videos when I was a teenager. This is my first one right here. And I've been consistently posting hundreds of videos nonstop.
Bin Laden not to add to the drama, but the problem is when Osama was involved in the CIA, they said his name was Tim Osman. Well, that's enough of the conspiracies, I got them fearing me.
Until someone respects me as an artist, I'll do what I do.
Just remember we are not the same. I brought the hot flames, I got game. LeBron James and you a has-been, Allen Iverson. So watch me make something from nothing like I'm hustling with MacGyver's son. I'll be the livest son, liver than the livest ones. The clock stopped and you watch, bruh, your time is done. Your chick said I had a tiger putt. It be the motherfucking heaven sent. Even 11 pens of many men can't even penetrate into my mental death. Invent a gem like Da Vinci with the pencil and pretend to understand the schemes I hand you with my gentle blends of sentences. Sent to center what the sentence is. Immense of spit bound to make the no dimension split.
When I started as a hip hop artist, I knew nobody cares about me. My friends like me sort of, but as far as am I ever going to be successful in this town or where I went to school in West Virginia? Probably not. So I just put out as many videos out to the public as possible. I was doing one every week, a couple a week. I was in school full time, but my passion was with hip hop. I entered contests. I worked really hard for years. I had record meetings with major labels, major heads and CEOs of distributors, even independent labels at one point paid for me to fly across the country to take a meeting. But I never signed a deal. I never liked how they talked to me, how they treated me. It never seemed like they cared about who I was as a person. They just wanted to run through me with their idea of who I was. And even at a young age, I think I had the wisdom to realize if these people aren't even trying to understand who I am, then I'm not really interested in this situation. So I never signed anything, and then I was back to the internet to just keep posting videos. To this day on YouTube, my biggest videos are all hip-hop videos. Obviously, my success has mostly been to political analysis on Facebook and Instagram. It's way bigger, and it's the reason I'm able to do what I do today. But on YouTube, I had millions of views by the time I was 21 and 22, and I was pursuing that. But the point that I'm getting to before I move on is I never stopped working. I dropped out of school at one point to pursue this. I was a stocker at a supermarket. I went in at 10 p.m. and I left at 6 a.m. and then slept during the day. I had dozens of jobs paying off my student loans. And I would even, like this video, rap on my way to work. I just never stopped. I just posted on the internet, and I've been reading comments since I was 19 years old. People used to make fun of me when I was 20, when my confidence wasn't so high. Now, it's not a big deal, but you could imagine in your growing years, posting online, people calling you names. Of course, I had a lot of success, and I'm super grateful, and it was mostly love, but I've been on the internet for my entire adult life, and I've never stopped posting. I caught a break in my early 20s and somebody in Los Angeles wanted to manage me for a short period of time and try to record an album. So on a whim, I packed everything I owned in 2 suitcases. I had no money and I flew right to Los Angeles to pursue my dream. The management deal didn't work out. I ended up very quickly after a year moving into my own spot, rather with a girlfriend and her friends at the time. And it was back to work, back to grinding, back to paying rent. But I never stopped posting videos. Sometimes I worked 2 or 3 jobs and I was making 2 or 3 videos a week. It's a lot, but that's why I succeeded. One thing I want to say before I move on, I never felt like I had anything to fall back on. And I'm not saying that to complain. I'm grateful for that because I think if I would have had something to fall back on or had somewhere to go that I felt like I would be okay, I don't think I would have ever worked that hard. When your back's against the wall, failure was never an option for me. I had nothing to fall back on, even though a lot of people probably thought, what are you doing? You're going to be a loser. You're working all these other jobs. I always believed in myself, and I knew that I had the talent and persistence to be successful. I was always a little bit politically conscious and I would rap about political stuff, but I got a lot more specific in 2016 when I saw how the DNC and the media establishment was basically trying to walk Hillary Clinton in as the choice, even though in my personal circle, I couldn't find anybody that thought she was the best candidate. So I actually took a really bold move at the time. I'd saved up about $8,000 in my savings account. I quit my jobs to work full-time as essentially an activist at the time. No money, wasn't even thinking I could make money, but I was so passionate about politics, I took a leap of faith. I said, I'm so passionate about getting my message out there that I'll use my savings for a couple months to just work full-time on what I really believe. Although it didn't lead to money at the time, these are the types of risks that I took in order to get where I am today. After my money dried out, I went back to work, but I had gained a little bit of a political following for, in my view, speaking the truth and trying to be honest, debunking the lies of the DNC and the Hillary Clinton establishment. Once I started paying attention more, I realized that Trump wasn't what they were saying he was, that a lot of conservative ideas and Republican ideas weren't as crazy as people had told me, and I had no problem sharing that with the public and trying to do even, fair journalism regardless which way it led me. It led to massive success online, but still, even after years of doing this out of my passion, working other jobs, at first I wasn't making any money, and I didn't even think you could make money doing this. You have to remember in 2015, 2016, the influencer thing wasn't really huge. Even when I used to rap on YouTube, they looked at it as I was just a YouTube rapper. They didn't even think that it mattered. It's like, you're not a real one, you're on YouTube. Now everybody wants to be on YouTube, but at the time, all of this like internet celebrity or internet influencer, it wasn't really a thing. So I was just doing it out of the passion because I didn't want to work a meaningless job. I wanted to say what I believed and fight the system essentially. The reason I'm going through all this, one, I just want you to know my story. Also, this whole time since I was 19 years old, I'm making videos every day, all the time. It never stops. I'm not complaining. I'm super grateful. I'm super appreciative. I think that's what led me to this point. That's what got me success. There were so many times I could have quit, so many people that told me I wasn't going to make it or I couldn't do this. And I have the last laugh with everybody who didn't believe in me, which was almost everybody I came across. So if you're ever doing anything like this or music or anything, understand you have to be your own biggest fan, because at the end of the day, if you don't believe in yourself, you can't rely on others too. With that being said, at a certain point, Facebook and YouTube started paying a little bit. People started contributing on certain websites for subscriptions. And I worked another job until they didn't want me there anymore just to save more money. And I think it was like 2018 or 2019, this became my full-time profession. I'm super grateful. This is a dream come true. It wasn't necessarily a dream that I had. I don't think I ever was like, hey, I want to do political analysis. I wanted to do hip hop. I wanted to do advertising at a certain point. That's what I went to school for. Commercials, jingles, something fun. But I'm super grateful. The times called for some realness. I stepped up. I wouldn't change a thing. I'm super appreciative and I'm super glad that everything landed the way it did. Fast forward to 2020, obviously the lockdowns, I started working even more. I was locked in my house. I had nothing to do. I felt like now, among all times, is the time to speak up. And I did that. And the pace that I've been working at, not just since I was 19 years old, but especially as it became my full-time profession, I told myself, you can't slack off. I didn't even slack off when I had other jobs, but I thought to myself, it took me so long to do this full time. It took me so long to accomplish these goals. How are you going to let it all go away? I'm not lazy. So I just started working at a crazy pace. If you look at the amount of videos that I've put out since I was 19, it's probably over 1,000 easily. And when I go to competitors or people that also do what I do at the same level, they have makeup artists, they have lighters, they have directors, they have a manager, they have someone who sets up the set, who calls in guests, they have someone who edits. They just kind of show up. Some of them even have people who do their monologues for them or help them write them. With me, it's essentially been a one-man show. I think of everything, I do the research, I do the thumbnails, I do the editing, I go live. It's a blessing. I've been able to capitalize off it. It's quick. I'm very picky with certain stuff, so it's all good, but it takes a toll. Most people with a team of 30 people, they don't even put out as much content as I did. I probably worked harder from 19 to 24 than a lot of people have in 2 decades. And I'm not complaining or comparing to look down on any of these people. I'm just telling you the truth. This pace that I was moving at is unsustainable. And it's nobody else's fault, but I feel like there's certain expectations. When I go on vacation for a week, people are messaging me, I miss you, where are you, where are you, I thought something happened, That's just a testament to how hard I worked, because if I take a week break from social media, which every human should absolutely do, it's like people are freaked out because they're so used to me posting content every day, all the time. And you got to keep in mind, I'm also doing picture posts. I'm also doing Twitter. Now that there's TikTok and Instagram, you got to flip it up vertical, and that's more work and more editing and different style videos. So it started getting to a point where I'm just posting. I talk about this on my show a lot, but I'm an athlete. I love sports. I love working out and exercising. I had to make sacrifices at a certain point, because it's like, either I can do this or this or this or this. I run an online shop. I'm a hip hop artist. I do shows. I try to shoot music videos and record vocals. And I'm running out of time, so I just started drinking more coffee, doing things to stay up late at night, trying to get everything done. And for a year or two, I stopped going to the gym, which I'm back in the gym now. I feel great, but it was a huge mistake. I just ran out of time, and I felt like I always had something to do. On top of that, I have a Patreon. I'm super grateful for that. Now I have more responsibility where I have to post every single month, or else I feel like I'm shorting people that are subscribing to me and supporting me. Now Facebook rewards you for posting memes and doesn't show your videos. So now I got to post 30 memes a day. And it got to the point where, I'm scheduling memes at 11 o'clock at night in my bed. And then I wake up and I got to post more, because now that's my income. Now that's my job, that they're not showing videos. And if you want me to make videos, I need to be able to sustain my business in order to do it. And I've been able to do that. I've been successful. Things are great. I'm not complaining. I'm not suffering in that way. It was just my mental and physical health that was suffering, because I was trying to do everything except for take care of myself and slow things down. I got so stressed out recently, I noticed that my resting heart rate was super high, thanks to gym bros that I follow talking about that stuff. I checked it out, and since then it's lowered. It seems normal now, and I'm gonna do more cardio and stop doing so many videos to get it back. That's the type of toll it took on my body, and I think that was the sign I needed to take a break. And I've been telling people this for a while, for at least a year now. I said, I can't work at this pace. This is unsustainable. But I just kept doing it anyway, because it's my job. And in many ways, I enjoy it. And I feel like it's my responsibility, and it's all that I know. Now that I've taken a break from it for 6 or 7 days, I didn't post on Twitter. I barely posted on Facebook. I've been really slow on Instagram for a while. I noticed just how toxic this environment is. I'm watching grown men that I like on both sides that are conservative or whatever. It's just like Twitter is just like people fighting all the time. And it makes me wonder one of two things. Are some people just fighting for content? Because at the end of the day, I watch the more extreme streamers. And by extreme, I mean like they stream all the time, 24/7, or, they got a person walking around with a camera all the time in their face. And the truth is, if you're that type of streamer where you're like walking around with a camera, if something interesting's not happening, people are uninterested. So then you're incentivized as the streamer to do something interesting. And at that point, are you even really a person? Like what's going on? And I'm not knocking anybody. This is the life that we all have, and it's a great profession in many ways. But I think a lot of us are so into the cycle that it's ruining mental and physical health for a lot of people, because like, what is even real at that point? Or what are you doing? Are you doing this because you think it's right? Like, are you sticking to your original, this is activism? Or is it like, I'm just fighting with people because that's good content? Or you're just so caught in the cycle that that's your environment. Like if you wake up and go for a walk, that's your environment. If you're like myself and you wake up and you're on Twitter and you're posting memes and you're reading comments, now that's your environment. Instead of like a, hey, hello, honey, here's your, waffles and eggs or whatever. It's like a bang, 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 screw you, this, that, this guy's fighting, that guy's fighting. This liberal says something annoying. This Republican or rhino says something annoying. And you're caught in this whole mix. And a lot of people that are watching this video are caught in that mix without even doing it as a profession. And this is just my call to ask everybody not to stop or not to change what you're doing, but just to think about it. Because for me, taking a break, I had a lot of other things going on. I've had multi-month issues with my landlord that I don't really speak about, because why would I? Last year I'm fine and I'm healthy, but I had health concerns and I had to see a lot of doctors for stuff. I never really talked about it, yet I'm posting 5 days a week, yet I'm editing. I talk to some of my friends sometimes that have a team to do their editing, and they say, dude, I get stressed out just thinking about how much work that you have to do this. And I've been doing it since I was 19. I never stopped. That's why I got here. I wouldn't change a thing. But it got to the point when my heart rate was a little bit too high, and I realized that I was stressed out. And then after taking a break for a week, it went back into normal levels. I was like, oh, That's what it was. I need to chill out. And I know it's tough because one, it's my profession. I'm doing well. I'm okay. I can afford to take a break. It's not a big deal. But, it becomes kind of not just a cycle, but it becomes, you see the numbers. So if I don't post on YouTube for a week, I lose thousands of dollars. And in this economy, who wants to lose thousands of dollars, right? If I don't post on Facebook, I also lose thousands of dollars. Now it's at the point where if I'm not posting videos, I lose thousands there. If I'm not posting memes on Facebook and things on Twitter, I'm losing thousands there. So every day that I take a break, not only am I losing money, but it's also like I'm losing momentum. I'm losing, I wouldn't say relevance because I don't care what people think, but I would just say like algorithmic momentum. All the social medias are like that, but especially YouTube. It's like when you're posting all the time, you're in people's For You algorithm. Facebook, same thing. Once you kind of take a little bit of a break, you not only lose the money you lost, but you lose potential money with the momentum. And I know there's going to be some losers and haters that are like, oh, it's just about the money. It's like people don't realize that I don't have to do anything. And I'm grateful that people watch and listen, but in order to, one, work at this pace, I have to be healthy. And if it's affecting my health, I got to slow it down. But then also, it gets to the point where people don't realize, because I don't talk about this stuff very often, in order to make videos 5, 6 times a week, 7 times a week, sometimes 10 times a week, because I'm making videos for other platforms, I need to be able to have this be my full-time job and pay for everything in my life. So as much as people want to say it's not about money, of course, I'm not a sellout. I'm one of the few content creators that actually prioritizes what I believe and ethics over finances and social connections. But at the same time, everybody goes to work to be able to pay rent or pay mortgage or whatever it is, pay for their family. It's no different. So with all that being said, I need to take a break. I'm not quitting. I'm not done. I'm not giving up. I just can't work at the pace that I was working at. And I've told people that for years, and I've felt that, and I've thought that, but I just kept working at that pace. And if you look at the pace I worked at from 2017, 2016 until now, the amount of videos and content and editing and research and tweets and memes and Instagram posts and TikTok posts that I've done, I just can't keep working at this pace. I've been editing videos, looking online, doing research, marketing, all this stuff since I was 19. I'm so grateful. I'm so appreciative. My results speak for themselves. Without a major label, without a backing from a big company like Daily Wire or Blaze TV, there's a lot of these Republican celebrities. No disrespect to them, it's all good, but they've had multi-million-dollar backings. They've had people editing. They've had millions of dollars in marketing. I have 1.6 to 1.7 million followers on Facebook. My reach is organic, and it's higher than almost anybody on that platform. I've been able to make a living. On Instagram, I have between 400 and 500,000 followers. On Twitter, I have a couple 100,000, and when I really post, I could reach 50 to 100 million people in a few weeks. On YouTube, hundreds of thousands of followers, tens of millions of views. And on TikTok, I had over 100,000 followers before they banned me, but I made a new one and I don't really care about it now. But the point that I'm getting to is I've had the results. The reason that I've been able to be so big on every platform is because I've worked this hard for this long. During 2019 and 2020, I barely went out because I was working so hard. And when I started getting recognized, it was kind of crazy to me because I'd get recognized almost every time I went out, but I barely went out. So it's like I'd be working in my apartment for weeks and months and like barely doing anything. And then I'd get recognized when I'm out. And the reason that people would recognize me was because I was inside so much. It was just a weird dynamic to me. When I was in my 20s, I didn't even take vacations in my 20s and travel and enjoy the world. I told myself, I believe I'm good enough at music that I could do a tour or I could do shows. And if I'm not doing shows or touring in these countries or in these states, then I don't deserve a vacation because that's my dream. That's how hard I worked, and everybody else went to Cancun or they went to Miami. I didn't do that in my 20s. One, I had no money. Two, I was that dedicated to success. Moving forward now, it's been a blessing. I've met hundreds or thousands of people when I'm out. People are super nice and respectful, and I've seen the results in person of the work that I've done online, and I wouldn't change a thing for the world. I'm so lucky. I'm so fortunate. I'm so grateful, especially moving to Los Angeles by myself with no car for 7 or 8 years, taking 2 buses, walking past gang members to get to work every day. I'm super fortunate and I'm super grateful that everything turned out the way it did. I took a lot of risks. I bet on myself and I succeeded. I just can't work at this pace anymore. And I never wanted to disappoint people. I didn't want to disappoint people on Patreon. I didn't want to disappoint people on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube. I didn't want to disappoint the people that are looking for my content, who say it helps, who want my opinion on everything. But you got to think from my perspective. Is it even healthy to have an opinion on everything all the time? Even with politics, I've said this recently because I'm a very honest guy. My passion, it's not just that I was stressed out, I feel good now, but it's also like, what's the point? Like, I know the truth about the Republican Party. I know the truth about Trump. I'm not saying I know his heart and soul. I don't know him. I'm not a family member. God bless the guy. But I could tell what's going on. I see how the donors are controlling both sides. I see the false paradigm. I see why Republicans always fall short. Some people want to hear it. Some people don't. There's an old saying that I share often. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And that's the truth. And tens of millions of people have probably considered what I'd said and would say that it helped them in some way. And then there's people that don't, and that's okay. I'm at peace with that. I'm not fighting. That's what makes the world go round. Everybody's not going to agree or wake up at the same time or even agree what the wake up is. And that's all good. I'm super happy. I'm super grateful. I'm super appreciative. And I've done pretty well for myself on a scale of thinking back to where I was 5 or 6 years ago. If I could tell myself in my 20s that I played at Sturgis in 2020 in front of tens of thousands of bikers on a stage with a rock band that I grew up listening to, if I were to tell my young self that I was able to live near the beach and have a car, I didn't even have a car, I would be like, he made it, which I did. And I'm so happy and I'm so grateful, and I don't want to sound unappreciative at all. I don't think I do, but just to make that clear, I just need to work at a different pace. And it took a minor health issue. I'm fine. I feel great. My cardio is good. I'm probably in better shape than I've been in a long time. So don't worry about me. I'm great. It's just, it took that. And now I consider that a blessing in disguise, because I always said I had to stop my pace because I just can't work at this unsustainable pace. And now I finally had a reason to stop. I'm drinking a coffee right now, but I stopped drinking coffee for a week. I told myself I'm going to do more cardio and play more sports again. I'm going to prioritize my sleep and my mental health. 2 years ago, I was reading books, relaxing. In the last year or so, I feel like I wasn't relaxing. I wasn't reading. I wasn't calming down. Everything was go, 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 go. Drink coffee, go, go, go. Drink coffee, stay up late, do this, wake up, do this, click, click. And I was just on the cycle for a year or two. And I think a lot of people are on that cycle as well with politics. And everybody, whether you're left wing or right wing or pro-Trump or you think he's sneaky, whatever, you tell yourself, well, I'm doing this because I'm helping. I'm doing this because I'm helping. And it's reflection for myself and yourself as well. But it's like, one, are we really helping? I mean, I think a lot of us are. I think I've done well. I'm sure you've done well too. But then also you have to ask yourself, is this healthy for me? And if I run in circles for years and I'm in the same spot, or I think the same things, or I'm watching the same content, that's saying the same stuff, it's like at a certain point, it's like, what's the point? You already know what's going on. I know what's going on. I have incentive to keep talking about what's going on because I'm making money from it. And that's what all these content creators are doing. They need to have a big story every day. When I log into Twitter, even some of my own friends annoy me, and I don't feel like arguing with them, because then I'm just another guy arguing with my friends on Twitter or people on our side, which is like all Twitter seems to be now. But in general, it's like, I'm thinking to myself, are they caught in the cycle? Possibly. Are they just pretending to be stupid? Like they trust these people and they got tricked and this and that? Because whether you're right or wrong, that's content. Now you make 12 videos about it. Oh my gosh, Trump did this. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't. How could you not believe it? It's so obvious at this point. Like, what's there not to believe? But you wonder, like, they're either caught in the cycle or they're making content. They're capitalizing off it. 15 videos a week is 15 videos a week. There's money to be made if people are willing to sit there and watch it and be caught on the cycle with you. With all that being said, thank you so much for supporting. If you want to support right now, dreamrare.com. I'm trying to sell out the shop. It's really close. Just buy something there. And I'll let you know when I have something worth donating to, or if you want to help further. People ask all the time and I just tell them no. They're like, what's your Venmo, this and that? And I'm like, you're good. I don't want to take money right now. I appreciate people that do donate and do stuff like that, but I'm not begging for it. I'm not asking for it. I don't need it at the moment. I want to have something worth you giving to. I don't want to just take it because I then feel bad. Even with Patreon, it just almost bothers me, even though I'm so grateful for it and people have been so awesome over the course of the couple of years. It's just another thing on a list of 40 things that I have to worry about and stress about getting that done on a timeline. And it's not the fact that I can't do it, because I think it's possible. It's just I've been doing it by myself. And I don't want to make excuses, because I'm sure some people may misconstrue it as that. But at the end of the day, when I'm doing the management, when I'm doing the emails, when I'm doing the videos, when I'm doing the recording, when I'm doing the marketing, I don't really market that much. I just have to post it. You get what I'm saying? It's just like so much where I'm just like running in circles, and then I start to not like what I'm doing. It starts to be a chore and a hassle. Once again, I don't want to complain, because every job is a chore and a hassle at some point. So that's why I felt like, why would I stop? Why would I take a break? Like, this is just a job. But for my own health, since I can afford to, and since I think I've worked hard enough to give myself this little break, that's what I'm going to do. I might post another video tomorrow. I might post a video in a week or 2 weeks. I might get back on the same schedule eventually, but I just wanted to make this video to be transparent with you. I've worked my ass off since I was 19 years old. I never stopped. I've been on the internet my whole adult life. My screen time is insane. It's just so much that I was stopping doing things that actually make me happy and healthy. And, definitely taking care of my mental and physical health is a priority. And if I want to do this for the next decade or 2 decades or however long, wherever this journey leads me, I'm sure it could lead to a place that I never imagined, just like it did in the first place. I never meant to do political news analysis. That's not something I wanted to do. I just saw what they were doing, and I said to myself, I could do a better job. Their energy's bad. They're stressing people out. They're yelling. They're selling pharmaceuticals in the commercials. Both sides are fake. I can do it with a calmer, more honest energy, speak the truth, but also try to calm people down and show them the light without just rattling them up and trying to make them freak out. And I did that. I accomplished it. I've gotten over 1 billion views, millions of followers. I've done well for myself. So I'm grateful. I'm appreciative. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to give up. I don't have that in me. But I am dialing it back, and I'm excited to do this. I'm actually excited for the first time in a long time, because there's a lot of things that I want to do. I do shows with the band Trapped often in front of hundreds and thousands of people, and it's really great, and I think I am a great stage performer. I also believe I'm a really great hip hop artist. I think that I haven't even really shown the world what I'm capable of. I know that people don't have to believe in me. It's fine. Many never did. But I have a lot of things I want to do. And I think taking this time off will allow me to reframe things and hit this with the right energy. Because if I'm not healthy and I'm not calm, then I'm not doing a service to the people who are listening to me. So I'm really excited to be taking a break. It's not going to be months or years or who knows how long it's going to be, but doing a daily podcast and having to do every element of it, I just can't do it anymore. I can't do it every day. I can't do it 20 times a month. And I was always excited to work with a team, because I always felt like in hip hop and in politics, I've proven myself. For so long, people said, well, we don't know if you can do this, or we don't know if you could do that. And I understand that. That drove me to be better, because, you don't want to take a risk on this person at this point, and not like a snowflake, like I'm so offended, but I take offense to it. The people that still don't believe in me, the people that still don't want to work with me, I take offense to it, because I see their roster of who they're hiring and who they're signing. And these people, no offense, and people might take this the wrong way, they're inferior to me in almost every single way. In intellect, in honesty, in following most of the time, in what they provide. But in general, it's like, it bothers me. And I'm like, still? And I think the reason it bothers me even more, it's not because I care what other people think. It's not because I need anything. I'm fine. But at this point in my life, I've worked by myself in an apartment since I was 19 years old. That's a long time to work by yourself. It's the same way with Zoom calls and all that. It's not healthy. It's not real. Get in an office and talk to people like a human being. For myself, I'm talking right now. You might feel like I'm talking to you, and that's cool. I'm talking to my cell phone. I've been talking to my cell phone and cameras back before they even had cell phone cameras since I was 19 years old. I'm looking forward to the next chapter of my life where I actually have a team. It's hard to trust people, and you always lean back on what you know, which is just working by myself. but I'm kind of burnt out from it. So I think I get extra bothered when, even to this point, I still can't figure that stuff out, but there's no one to really be upset about because I can build my own team. I could hire people, I got to figure it out on my own. And I always thought, just like in rap, I was always like, why don't they want to do this and that? And then I realized what the music industry really was. And I was like, oh, well, that makes more sense. That's why they didn't care who I was. That's why they were trying to tell me what to say, because that's all they care about. If they can't get it with me, they don't care about the music or how good it is or how lyrical it is. They'll find some other puppet like they do in Korea or even America, and they just, dress them up and they dance around with the lyrics that somebody else wrote. So I was like, oh, that makes sense. That's why they never wanted to work with me. I guess I was a little naive. I guess I thought the independent podcasting media circuit and conservative media was going to be so different because of Trump. And then you kind of pull back the curtains behind that, and it's the same thing. It's just like another layer of what the music industry was, or like Fox News 2.0 that has successfully branded itself as not Fox News. So I'm like, okay, I guess I really am an outlaw and a rebel and an underdog, and that's just my story. So you can't control what other people want to do, but I can control myself, and I have to be self-aware and take accountability that I've just been working at a pace that's not only unsustainable, but it's just not mentally and physically healthy. I feel amazing since I had this revelation. I'm going to do more cardio, less coffee, less videos, and there will probably be a time that I get back to the same pace that I was on. I just need some time off to think about it and really reframe my life. It's the first real break that I've probably ever taken since I was a teenager, and I'm excited about what else I could do. Thank you so much for supporting. Thank you so much for watching and sharing my videos. I really feel like the ultimate underdog story, the fact that we've been able to get over 1 billion views, probably tens or hundreds of millions of shares without the marketing budget of these major corporations and independent media. It's incredible. I'm so thankful for you. I'm not giving up, but I am finding a pace that makes more sense than what I was doing for the long run. I feel like I've done a lot of great stuff, but to me, I feel like I have so much left in me. And I think this is the balance issue that we all have. If you're always striving for something more, that's going to lead you to be successful. But if you're always striving for something more, you're never living in the present moment, and the present moment is where the magic is. That's where life is. So no matter how much money or fame or internet clicks you have, does that really make you happy? Is that really winning? Are you really helping? You talk about politics, but are you sure? These are the questions that people don't ask because they're just chasing it. So just something to think about, something I'm thinking about myself. And moving forward, I still feel like I have even better things to contribute. It's just got to be at a different pace and potentially a different work environment that I'll build over the course of the next year. Real quick, one thing I've always wanted to do as well, I've never been to Europe, I've never been to Asia. I've worked so hard my adult life that I just never took any trips. I was debating about next year taking a couple months off for real and trying to travel the world and see some stuff, and maybe I could blog about it or make videos about it from a news political analysis skew. So people actually care, because I'm self-aware that if I just do what I want to do, it doesn't mean people care. It's like, look, I'm doing arts and crafts. Look, I'm drawing. It's like 10 views. Nobody cares. Like, get back to your job. It's like, no, that's fair. I understand. But this is the start of it, and I hope you understand. Thank you so much. No complaints from me. God is great. My life has been great. The things that I've been able to accomplish with your help are extraordinary, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So thanks for listening to this video. Enjoy your summer, and hopefully this inspires you not just to reach out for your dreams, but to stay calm and not forget about yourself among the hustle that we're all involved in. Thank you so much. God bless you.